line number one. Robert, you're on the air.
Morning, Patty. How are you?
Doing okay, you?
Oh, I'm okay today. Thank you very much for taking my call. I know I don't have much time, so I'll just get right to it.
Go for it.
I wanted to discuss the call that you had a couple days ago with Minister Parsons. There's one thing, he mentioned a lot of the stakeholders about foreign governments and foreign businesses, but there's one group of stakeholders that he noticeably left out, and that was the Newfoundland residents. So I just wanted to bring that up, that he doesn't seem to be representing the people that he's supposed to, because he doesn't even seem to be consulting with them. And evidence of that is that not one of the ministers or anybody from the departments attended any of the information sessions that were held by EVREC in the exploits region.
Yeah, now I don't know if that means that there was not actual face-to-face consultation between EVREC and the government, say for instance in Confederation Building, but for the optics of being there to understand where the people are coming from, maybe attending one of those public consultations, whether it be in Botwood or anywhere else, is probably a very good idea.
Absolutely, and as well, I'm not really comfortable with the narrative, I guess I'll say, that our leaders seem to be putting out there. The labels that they're or the tags that they're labeling people with, such as naysayers or anti-development. Like, I'm not a anti-development person at all. I'm for responsible development, but these developments are anything but responsible development for anybody that's been following along. So to have the government place labels on people and group them is really dismissive from a group of people that preaches inclusivity and acceptance, but they're creating division. So I don't really feel comfortable with that at all. Another topic I want to bring up, that one thing that he mentioned as well during his call with you, is that he was very excited to have this French company, EDF, their North American arm, to partner with EVREC. So I had to look into it a little bit, and one of the things that I always do whenever I hear about these companies coming into our province is I'll just do a quick Google search, EDF, and one of the little tags I'll add in is lawsuit, so just to see if they have any legal claims ongoing that's public knowledge right now. So I did that with EDF, and I found a lawsuit that was approved by the Court of France from the people in Mexico due to lack of Indigenous consultation. So I thought it was very fitting that EVREC, a company that has done zero Indigenous consultation and absolutely abysmal public consultation to date, has partnered with a foreign company that is also in the courts for lack of Indigenous consultation and lack of public consultation. And our governments themselves are leaving the Newfoundland stakeholders, the public, out of the discussions. So as a resident of Newfoundland, of exploits, I'm still struggling how I'm supposed to feel good about this development with all the things that I know. And one of the things that I know is that there was an article, a study released recently, just a couple months ago, I think it was June, it was published, and it said, what if Germany had invested in nuclear power? And it compared the German energy policy over the last 20 years with divesting from nuclear and coal and gas and investing heavily into wind energy. So that study shows that they overspent by, I believe it was, the total investment over the last 20 years was about $700 billion. And they reduced their carbon by about 25%, I think. So alternatively, if instead of investing in wind, they could have invested in nuclear power, they could have saved half of that money. So they could have saved total nominal for about 300 to $400 billion, and they could have reduced their emissions by an additional 73%. So this is the justification as to why I'm against these developments, and I keep saying from the beginning, and I'll say till the day that I die, that these projects are terrible ideas. And the basics of that is this: Germany use 100% of the power from these turbines on their grid. They overpaid and they underperformed what they were promised. And the studies are there to prove it. So now our government and the businessmen are promoting to use these same wind turbines with a loss of between 70 to 80% of efficiency, the added cost of using ammonia and hydrogen to ship overseas for about 20 to 30% of the efficiency of the turbines they have on land over there. So the math and the business case have no sense at all unless, like I was saying from the start, unless you're involved with the construction of these projects.
Robert, you've had the last word. We just cleared 12 o'clock, but you're always welcome.
Thank you very much, Patty, and hopefully I'll call in next week because I got a lot more to say about this.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.